All right, welcome to Videoguys live webinar every Tuesday at 3 p.m. I am not Gary Batan, I am Oliver Ricketts. I'm going to be filling in. Gary's actually on vacation this week, so we thought this would be a really great time for me to step in and talk about the education video market. All right, we're going to be talking about schools' budgets are now in a time of examination. Next year's school year is rolling up as this one's coming to a close, and this is a time for educators to be looking at the remainder of this school year's budget for getting devices for next year. If you're looking to upgrade your video systems or bring your streaming quality to another level, whether you're working in lecture capture streaming or sports broadcasting with some of your varsity programs, we've got devices for you to look at, and we're going to tell you how we can help you implement those devices into schools. I want to start this show by saying we are always available to reach over the phone at 1-800-323-2325. So let's jump right into it now and talk about how Videoguys can help you, and your school in that production workspace. Well, you can definitely reach us over the phone in person, as I just mentioned, at 1-800-323-2325. You'll get live people such as myself who are here to talk about your production needs. What devices do you need in your workflow? Because a lot of times that can be one of the most daunting things, is what do I need to create the stream that I want, and can it fit in my budget? It definitely can, and we can definitely help you make that work so that you can give your students a high quality video experience. We'll provide you with a quote from our purchasing department, but we also work with a network of dealers and resellers across the country who are more than happy to provide you with an alternative quote or multiple quotes. It's also worth noting that Videoguys has options for flexible invoice spending and P-card limits and transactions, and that purchase orders are gladly accepted. We will work with you to figure out your budget and how we can get you the devices that you need. Another great resource that Videoguys offers is our relationship with our vendors and our awareness of academic discounts and special programs. We'll work with our vendors to provide special discounts, additional software, or services such as tutorials or support programs for devices or software that you may purchase from us. So again, definitely give us a call at 1-800-323-2325, and we can help you set up next year's budget for video production. Jumping into what some of that budget might be, let's talk about live production systems. If you're doing any kind of multi-camera shoot or stream, you need a production system. But as you can see on the bottom here, we have a collage of all the different production systems that we sell at Videoguys. They fit different niches. There are different purposes that you could use one production system over another. So what do we consider when we're talking about getting a production system for your workflow? Well, first of all, we have to consider budget. What do you have the money to put in place right now? What fits into your workflow that then you still have flexible spending for all the other elements of your production? Next up is who will be using the system. A lot of schools have different student workforces on their production team. However, some other educational facilities may have a professional production team working with the equipment. It's always good to know who's using your production system, because that should affect which production system you want to buy. And lastly, what will the production system be used for? A lot of schools work heavily in lecture capture for pre-recorded lectures that students can watch either remote or later. There's also great events, educational events that you could be streaming to your students and faculty, or maybe your varsity sports team is having a really big game and you want to stream it. We've got production systems for all of those workspaces that we can look at. Starting with the NewTek TriCaster Mini. This is a super advanced production system that is great for both beginners and professionals to create high quality content. NewTek has 3 different bundles available, including the TriCaster HD4 bundle at $79.95, the TriCaster Mini SDI bundle at $99.95, and the new TriCaster Mini 4K NDI, the base bundle starting at $10,995. It's also worth noting that with all of these TriCaster systems, NewTek is offering an educational add-on. So that could be either 2 downloadable virtual sets similar to the ones behind me, or a downloadable copy of NewTek NDI Telestrator. These are great devices, especially if you want to train your students in an NDI workspace. If you want to implement one of these into sports production, you have onboard graphics. The TriCaster Mini is a great fit for a lot of different production spaces. Staying within the NewTek umbrella, if you want to step it up to the highest level production system offered by NewTek, the TriCaster TC1 is where you want to be. This is a robust production system that we actually use on this show. It creates a high quality video format. Right now I'm running with 3 different cameras. So if I want to do a multi-camera shoot and I go over here, I'm pulling in an additional camera source to my TriCaster. I'm chroma keying this whole set, and I have my head-on camera as well as my PowerPoint over my shoulder. You have Skype TX options with TriCaster and a variety of different workflows that you can work off of. It's a great tool to teach your students about all of these workflows or to produce really great content. Our TC1 base bundle comes in at $19,995, and again, you have those add-ons from NewTek for educational facilities. Jumping into the Panasonic space, we talked a little bit about the TriCaster Mini. Now if I took all those capabilities of the Mini and put them in one hardware device, that would be the Panasonic HLC100 controller. This is a really, really great device with the brains of the TriCaster Mini built into it for remote PTZ control to step up your production quality. This is a really, really awesome product. It's brand new here at Videoguys from Panasonic. Something to really consider if you're working in a sports production workflow, or maybe you're covering theater and you want that remote capability with your PTZ setup. Maybe you're working on an NDI-HX platform, HDMI or SDI, and you can stream directly from this unit. This one comes in at $11,499, so $11,499. Moving into, if you're working with students who are experienced in streaming already, they're probably familiar with Wirecast. Telestream's Wirecast is available for both PC and Mac. So it's a really, really great intro system and professional system for streaming. And the Wirecast Gear 2nd generation is a robust system built to handle running Wirecast efficiently. It comes in 3 different flavors of the Gear 310 at $59.95, the Gear 320 at $69.95, and the Gear 420 at $89.95. If you want something really straightforward for some of your students to use, this is a great device. It's a very robust system, and it will produce a high quality stream. Now for educators who are using maybe Panopto or Kaltura, it may be worth it to look into the Epiphan Pearl Mini or the Pearl 2. Now, the Pearl Mini has built-in software integrations with Panopto and Kaltura, so if you're already using those in your lecture capture workflow, now you can get the hardware to back that up. All right? So if you're already working in those spaces, Pearl Mini is a really, really great device, as is Pearl 2. Or you could jump into the Matrox family of devices that are also working in that same workspace. Matrox has the Kaltura integration as well as a wide variety of other softwares great for educators, and is offering some special academic prices. So the Matrox HD encoder, regularly priced at $9.95, comes in at $8.95 for the education space. The HDX encoder, as opposed to the $12.95 regular price, educators can grab that at $11.66, and the LCS lecture capture device comes in, instead of the $24.95 price, now it's available at $23.70 for education institutions. So these are great devices to run alongside a software integration like Kaltura. Now, if you're looking to do a remote production and not something that's hardwired into a system or a school, maybe you're going to an event or you're covering a varsity sporting event, SlingStudio is a really, really great option. It's a compact system that packs right into a backpack and can bring in 10 camera sources. Again, it's extremely portable. We have several bundles available here. And if you want that SlingStudio connection for, say, an event taking place on a field where you don't have that Wi-Fi coverage, it also pairs great with the LiveU Solo with the LiveU Solo Connect modems. This will create your Wi-Fi signal, and now it's a MiFi signal through cellular bonding from the LiveU Solo to send out whatever signal you're getting from the SlingStudio. So it's perfect for those portable productions that you may want your students or faculty to be a part of. Covering sports production. This is something where if you're picking out your live production system, we talked earlier about the purpose of your system. If you're in that sports workplace, you want different capabilities than, say, lecture capture or theater. Some of those capabilities might include instant replay or scoreboard capability, and you need devices that are going to support those capabilities. Luckily, we've got a couple of those on hand, including the NewTek TriCaster. This is a really, really great device for sports coverage, coming in at $19,995. It's got 4 multi-viewer outputs and synchronized continuous full resolution capture, making it an awesome device for that sports coverage that you're looking for. And while we're talking about sports coverage, there's also the SimplyLive ViBox. This is an all-in-one bundle with a ton of capabilities, including the slow-mo software by SimplyLive, great for instant replay, as well as a bunch of onboard graphics and varieties of inputs in the system. There's also automated audio software and the export software, coming in at $28,995. Now, when you're building your workflows, we understand a lot of schools are already built on a wired connection workflow, but NDI is definitely something to look into because not only is it the future of broadcasting, but it's something really great for convenience and for efficiency in your stream. We've got a bunch of NDI devices on the table, and we've talked about some really great NDI production systems, including the TriCaster, Wirecast, and SimplyLive. NDI is compatible with all of these systems. Over my shoulder, you'll see a school from the Bronx, the SAR High School, using NDI in their production workflow. What NDI can do is it can upgrade legacy equipment and bring it in over your network so that all of your cameras, all of your video sources are united in one space on your network for easy control, even remotely. So let's get into that, the advantages of NDI. Well, NDI is really a new format similar to HDMI or SDI, where I can now have 4 or 5 cameras on my network and I can pull them into my production system with only a single Cat6 cable. Now what's nice about this is, say I have a hardwired camera like an HDMI cam or an SDI cam, well, there are legacy upgrades that are allowed within these cameras. You can get a converter and then run one cable. Say I have a camera that's all the way in a classroom and I'm producing in the gym. Well, if I can connect that camera via an NDI converter to my network, now that camera that was only in that classroom is accessible to me in the gym, somewhere else where I'm mixing this stream, and I can have that capability, which leads me into that NDI is software based. It's not based on hardware, and it doesn't follow those restrictions. The only restriction is the capability of my network. Now, if you have that legacy upgrade, you are going to need some NDI converters, and luckily we've got a couple of them on hand, including the Connect Spark line from NewTek and the BirdDog Mini and Studio. So if you've got an HDMI camera that you want to convert to NDI, this is a great device with the Connect Spark, or you could connect your SDI converter to NDI, also with the Connect Spark line or with some of these BirdDog products. So these are really, really awesome products to help you bring in that hardwired camera and make that an NDI source as well. And when we're talking about NDI, we also have to talk about PTZ cameras and controllers, which are a great option for streaming, especially in school workspaces. One of the main things we talk about with PTZ controllers is human resource. How many cameramen do you have, and what is the reach of your cameras? If you want to be able to remote... What's up? If you want to be able to remote control your PTZ camera, you're going to want that remote control function with the pan tilt zoom. Now I don't need to have a student holding a multi-camera camera in my workflow. Instead, I can control that camera completely remote with the pan tilt zoom function and capability. So it really extends the reach of your production. I've got several PTZ cameras right here in front of me that are all really, really great options. I want to break down some of those right now. Starting with the PTZOptics line of cameras. Now we talked about previously that hardwired legacy connection versus that NDI connection. Well, PTZOptics is available in both flavors. You've got your SDI cameras as well as your NDI HX cameras for total coverage. You can choose between each one with each workflow, and they've got their joysticks available as well with the IP-based joystick controller and their regular joystick G2 controller with RS232. Moving on to Panasonic. Now what's special about Panasonic is that all of these cameras are available both in NDI and without NDI. If you're not ready to move into that NDI workspace, you can upgrade your Panasonic camera when you're ready. So we can sell you these cameras without NDI as a hardwired function, and down the line, if you're ready to upgrade to NDI, you can do that one camera at a time and add that NDI capability to any of the Panasonic PTZ cameras. Also available from Panasonic is control over these cameras. They've got a bunch of options for control over these Panasonic cams, including the RP150 and the RP60, which are your basic control surfaces for the Panasonic PTZ cameras. But there's also the production system, the HLC100, which we talked about a little bit earlier, as well as regular wireless remote control and some software options that are available from Panasonic. And while we're talking about PTZ cameras, we should also mention the new BirdDog line of cameras. In front of me, I've got the BirdDog Eyes P100, which is a great little camera that is full NDI. So this camera uses full NDI to pull in and control. They're great cameras, very sturdy. They also have their outdoor line with the A series of cameras, the A200 and A300, which are completely weatherproof PTZ cameras. In addition to that, you have the first NDI PTZ keyboard available. So what's notable is that these cameras, rather than being NDI HX, now you've got that full NDI capability with the BirdDog PTZ line. Now everything we've talked about so far has been in a streaming workspace. We've covered production systems and cameras as well as different streaming devices. But what about post-production? Well, Videoguys is also your source for the post-production workspace. We've got options for storage, editing, and monitoring if you give us a call at 1-800-323-2325. So jumping into it with our recorders and monitors, we've got the Atomos line of monitor recorders. If you want a 5-inch monitor, you're going to start with those Shinobi monitors that will hook right to your camera via HDMI or SDI. Very, very awesome monitors that will show the exact picture that you're looking for, just blown up a little bit. If you're looking for something that's going to also help you record, we've got the Atomos Ninja V coming in at $649 for this special only through February 29th. So now you've got a 5-inch recorder and monitor that you can hook right to your camera and record in a very high file format. If you're looking for 7 inches, Now we're at Shogun 7. So that's also very lightweight recording and comes with a new upgrade to their software, which also enables switching. Now, if you're looking for just basic studio monitor recording, we've also got the Sumo monitors, which I'm actually using on this show right now to record this stream. So not only is that my studio monitor, but it's also recording a high-res version of this webinar that will be uploaded later. Now, when we talk about post-production, we have to talk about video editing and Avid Media Composer, because these are the best set of tools for post-production. Available now for educators at $99 a year, you can have Avid Media Composer for students, teachers, and faculty members of any qualified academic institution. This is a sophisticated NLE that is the best on the market. Cannot sing the praises high enough, and you can definitely reach out to us if you're working in an Avid workflow. We can help you out with that. Also, when we talk about post-production, we have to mention Avid Nexus Pro, because you're going to have a massive amount of storage anytime you have a large amount of video being produced. Well, with the Avid shared storage solution, you can scale up to 4 media engines, and you have 160 terabytes of capacity available. So with that shared storage device, comes in at $11,995. It's a great option for your storage of all the video content being produced on your network. Another great option for storage comes from G Technology with their multi-bay shuttles. If you want higher speed, higher performance, these are great drives to take a look at, with the shuttle 4-bay coming in at $1699.95 and starting at 16 terabytes of storage. Or you can upgrade that into the 8-bay shuttle XL. So rather than those 4 bays, now you've got 8 bays, you're working a little bit faster, your performance is going to be a little bit higher, and that's going to start at $3899.95. We also want to talk about Hlc's great RAID storage solutions if you're working in a workflow that requires that. These are great solutions as well, with the 2-big RAID at $399, the 6-big RAID with Thunderbolt 3 at $1799, and the 12-big RAID at Thunderbolt 3 at $3999. If you're working with a massive amount of storage, these are all great options because your storage is critical to any post-production workflow. Now, if you're looking to upgrade your school's equipment before next year, now is a really great time to do that, and we can definitely help you in that space. Give us a call. We've got live people all the time over the phone. You can talk to myself, Oliver Ricketts, at extension 1111. Talk to Jen at extension 1117, or Adam at extension 1119. So that's 1-800-323-2325. And you can reach any of us. Can we pop that up one more time on the screen just so everybody can see those extensions? You can reach any of us at these extensions, and we're more than happy to help you get started on upgrading your school's equipment for next year. Coming up next on our show, next week Gary will be back in the studio, and he'll be joined by Christopher Perry from LiveU. They're going to break down some of the 5G myths and the future of live production, while also talking about some LiveU products. Then on March 3rd, we have our monthly Ask the Videoguys show. This show is all about user-submitted questions. If you have a question about this technology that you want answered, you can reach us at videoguy@videoguys.com, or send it in over our Facebook, our Twitter, or even our YouTube comments, and we will see all those questions. We're going to pick some of the best ones that we get asked most commonly, and we're going to answer some of those on that show. So if you have a question, submit it now with the subject line, Ask the Videoguys. Remember, this show's coming at a new time every week, so that's Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. You can join us on our Facebook page at facebook@videoguys.com, or our YouTube page at Videoguys, or we're available to watch at videoguys.com/live. We'll be here every week at 3 p.m. Eastern Time to give you all the latest information on new products, new technologies, and new trends in the video industry. I'm Oliver Ricketts with Videoguys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you share this video, leave us a comment, leave us a like, and spread the word about this webinar so we can continue to produce it and give you great information on the latest video technology. Thanks for watching, everybody. Videoguys is available Monday through Friday. Give us a call at 1-800-323-2325. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram to stay connected with all of our updates. And you can like us on Facebook. Keep an eye out for our live videos, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.